गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं हरि ओं तत्सत्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमः आचार्यपादाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथा दामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Krishna Mataji.
Very nice to see all of you. Of course, virtually, but still, you are all wonderful Vaishnavas. Even your names are so much giving enthusiasm to the speaker. Thank you so much. And as you all know, we are in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila. So, Adilila, chapter 1, we started after introduction. We will go for some details about Lord Chaitanya past tense, and then we will go to the verses. By this time, you all might be knowing that about how many commentaries are there, how many great Vaishnavas wrote the biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which we don't know at all. Guess how many biographies are there about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Any guesses? Anyone? Total, how many might be there? There are more than 30 commentaries, 30 literatures about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah, more than 30. So, we know prominently some literatures like Chaitanya Charitamrita, who wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur, and Chaitanya Mangal, Lochan Das Thakur. These are three prominent, but there are many written by Kavi Karnapur, Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka. And Srila Vedanta Bhakti Vinod Thakur also wrote Chaitanya Leela Smaran. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati also wrote. Like that, there are Kavacha, there are so many, like that 30 literatures are there, which we are not familiar. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj He is writing a book. Of course, he is ready to print for printing. He combined 7 books and writing a book of all the pastimes. So any missing detail will also be present in that book. And what is the reason, what is the special significance of Chaitanya Charitamrita means, it is a very humble representation, humble presentation. And also he was very cautious. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is very cautious that he will not do any mistake, he will not transgress any devotee, he will not repeat whatever other devotees has written, and he was extremely cautious. And you can see his humility in each and every verse. And one more great significance of Chaitanya Charitamrita is a sincere reader in this material world. How many layers are there in this whole material universe? There are 8 layers. 8 layers. What are those? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, and then mind, intelligence, false ego. If you see one by one layer, the second layer, the next later layer is 10 times thicker than the before layer, prior layer. So in that way, when we are thinking 10 times thicker than the before one, 10 times thicker than the before one, and if you see the last layer, false ego, just imagine how much thick the layer will be. If you want to cross this material universe, that is not that easy. That much thick layer of false ego is entrapping us in this material world. So what is the, but our acharyas, we don't need to be disappointed. They have given a beautiful key, beautiful weapon to break this thick layer of false ego. That is the humility. If you are performing humility, in Chaitan, in Sikshastakam also, third verse, Trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanena manadena kirtaniya sada hari. So how we should chant, what is the mood we should adopt? That Trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna. So more tolerant. More humbler than the grass and more tolerant than the tree. So for reading sake, saying sake, it is quite easy, but for practice it is not that easy, because sometimes we don't even recognize that we are acting ourselves in the middle, in the center, rather than keeping Krishna in the center. Yesterday I was hearing this from a nice Vaishnava devotee. One time, this happened in the Tavako. There is one devotee, he is playing Mridanga in the early morning Mangala Arti when the Tulsi Arti is going on. So when the Tulsi, they are all circumambulating and pouring water for Tulsi Maharani. So this devotee, everyone else poured the water, and he also wanted to pour water for Tulsi Maharani. So he stopped playing Mridanga, and he is the only Mridanga player. He took the break, he took the water, pour the water for the Tulsi Maharani, and he continued playing Mridanga. So for all of us, we will think that that's fine. There is nothing wrong. He is a nice devotee. But there, Bhaktimark Maharaj was there. He said that, why did you do that? Tulsi Maharani is not a plant. She is relishing your Mridanga. Your offering of water is that Mridanga playing only. And he explained one danger. When we are doing like that, we are, rather than the pleasure of Tulsi Maharani, we are giving importance to our interest. So unknowingly, we will keep ourselves, our interest in the center, our interest at the priority, than the pleasure of Sri Radha Madhava or Gaur Tulsi Maharani. These are all, they are very subtle. We don't know that all these so many practices, how properly, carefully we should chant, we should do seva, we should do our sadhana each and every moment. That's why we should follow all the practices under the guidance of great Vaishnavas, and reading these scriptures properly, very interest, with interest, with a lot of enthusiasm, studiously we should study that. That humility definitely is guaranteed when we read this Chaitanya Charitamrita. That is the, because he's when Krishnadas Kaviraja is writing this literature, he's the very old person. It is very difficult for him in that old age to hold the pen and write this literature. That's why from the beginning till end, she was again and again and again begging for the mercy of six Goswamis, begging for the mercy of all the acharyas, asking for forgiveness. So when we are reading with, at least trying to read, study this with humility, with seriousness, interest, when we present our audience, listen carefully, humility is guaranteed. And one more special significance of this Chaitanya Charitamrita is, very detailedly, no other literature, even other books of Srila Prabhupada also. If you read, we will get the philosophy, we will know, come to know our constitutional position, but very confidential details of Krishna and his position and his relation with his devotees, only Chaitanya Charitamrita is revealing. And why not other literatures like Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mangal? Of course, they also presented, but emotions were dominating the philosophy. There, the descriptions of emotions of the devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, were elaborately explained. Whereas, for a particular purpose, the philosophy is more emphasized in Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you want to know the position, the details, this is the perfect source to know all the details. So, what we should do, listen carefully from the all the nice Vaishnavas. They are giving time to everyone and learn each and every detail. Okay, and with that, we will start Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 1. Of course, assigned verses are 77 and 78, and we will go little recap which is needed here. Okay. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा. If you want, you can repeat. जय जय श्री
जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद.
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा.
जय जय श्री चैतन्य
जय
जय
नित्यानंद,
नित्यानंद, जय
जय
द्वैत
गौर
चंद्र
चंद्र
जय
जय
गौर
गौर
भक्त
भक्त
वृंद.
वृंदा.
Yeah, glory to Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda, glory to Advaita Acharya, and glory to all the devotees of Sri Gaura, Lord Chaitanya. Okay, and we are from couple of weeks, we are seeing these 6 features of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there are total 6 features that are mentioned in this chapter. So, what is the first one? Gurus, and we all know that to it was discussed from the verses 44 to 58 about the 2 types of gurus. Who are they? Everyone knows that. Diksha Guru
शिक्षा गुरु and
and
Diksha Guru.
Siksha Gurus. So, Diksha Guru only one will be there, and Siksha Gurus many can be there. And also from the verses 59 to 64, you would have covered this about the Bhaktas, about the information about various associates, personal associates of the Supreme Lord, or perfect servitors, whatever is the bhava. They are also called as parishats. And the neophyte devotees. Neophyte devotees like sadhakas. We are all practicing devotees. So we are in the sadhaka stage. So about there are these two types of devotees. These personal associates are the Nitya Siddhas. They are eternal associates of the Supreme Lord. And what about us? We are the Sadhaka Siddhas. So that after sincere practice of rules and regulations under the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, we can attain perfection and we can go back to Godhead. This was covered from the verses 59 to 64. And then you covered from 65th verse to 67th verse, avatars, three categories of avatars. What are all those three? Partial amsas, qualitative amsa avatars, qualitative guna avatars, and empowered are satyavesha avatars. So partial incarnation means amsas means incarnation, partial incarnations, qualitative incarnation.
No, go eat your food now.
Yes.
Go.
Yeah, please mute yourself. Gunavataras and Satyavesha avataras. And then we are now in the phase of Prakashas, expansions. Prakasha means expansions or Vilasas. So both are called as expansions only. Prakasha expansions, Vilasa expansions. And these will be ranging from 68 to 78. So that means we are end of this explanation of Prakashas. 77 and 78 are the two verses today we will discuss. And then comes under in the among the six features, the remaining two are Shakti, Shakti avatars, means Shakti incarnations, which are coming from Srimati Radharani and expansions of Srimati Radharani. And finally, sixth feature is Krishna itself, Isha, the Lord, supreme opulence, which he is exhibiting as the Supreme Lord. Okay, and these scriptures, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, why we have to read? Suppose there are six features of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we are seeing. In the first chapter itself, in the first few verses, when we are discussing, there are some internal reasons for the for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and external reasons for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were discussed. So, what are all the internal reasons? To understand the mood of Srimati Radharani, how relishment she is having, she is deriving out of devotion towards Krishna. So even which Krishna even not knowing about that secret. So these are all the internal reasons. Of course, external reason is to spread this Krishna consciousness, to give this Harinam to everyone and to liberate everyone. So why Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to know the mood of Srimati Radharani, and external reason is to give Hare Krishna Mahamantra to everyone, and if everyone chants that one, that is enough to go back to Godhead. Then why we have to read all this? Why we have to read six features? Why we have to read all these avatars, prakasas, sektis? Why should we need to know all these details about the Supreme Lord? His internal reason is not that one, external reason is not that one. Then why we have to go through all this? Why? Because if you see the whole Adilila, Madhyalila, Antyalila, Adilila is more about the childhood pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Madhyalila is after he has taken sannyas, and Antyalila is later pastimes, means final pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Madhya Leela is more relevant to us. And beginning part of Antya Leela and mostly Madhya Leela is very relevant to us, where he has preached so many instructions to Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami. So there is a sacrifice, lot of sacrifice behind this Madhya Leela part. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the reason for his taking sannyas is everyone is thinking him as an ordinary person. And they could not take up the disciples, whoever followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also could not understand the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu before taking sannyas, and they were questioning Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why you are chanting always gopis names, why you are chanting always Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So there was a lot of disrespect, lot of casualty. Then it made Chaitanya Mahaprabhu serious necessity for him to take sannyas, renounce such a beautiful wife at a young age, and renounce his mother, and taking lot of austerity at the age of 24. Why all this he has to do? To for the benefit of everyone, whole world. Otherwise, if he doesn't take sannyas, everyone will think him as an ordinary person. This is the exact reason for us also to know all this philosophy. If we don't understand the position, tattva of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, there is no point of proper understanding. There is no scope. There is no hope for proper understanding of whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, in order to make our foundation very strong, and about the supreme position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishnadas Kaviraj did not straight away started the biography of Chaitanya Balyalila, like playing pastimes, naughty pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were all starting after the 13th chapter. But till 12th chapter, especially these first few chapters, he is thoroughly emphasizing the tattva. So he is building the strong foundation. If we don't understand that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya Balaram Hole Nitai. So if we don't understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, oh, digest it. Not understanding is also not enough. We have to digest it. One time when in Juhu temple, I think, when the devotees are coming, right away they go to Radha Krishna, Radha Madan Mohan, and then they will go to whoever is, if Jagannath Baldev Subhadra or Ram Parivar, whoever is there. But very, very few devotees are there going to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Why? Because we don't, even though we outwardly, superficially know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu are none other than Radha Krishna, only it is a superficial understanding. A core tattva understanding devotee, first he will not go to Radha Krishna instead of going to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And Madhurya Kaudambini also clearly mentioned that without going through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, it is impossible to approach Radha Krishna, especially in this Kali Yuga. And even in our altar also, without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, or at least Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is not Gaudiya altar. It is not the Gaudiya way of worshipping. And it is not at all possible to attain Radha Krishna. So this philosophy we should understand, the position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, position of Nityananda Prabhu. Otherwise, we cannot derive the benefit out of this Chaitanya Charitamrita. So for that reason, first Krishnadas Kaviraj is explaining that Krishna, features and Krishna Prakasha, Vilasa, Vigrahas. So he was mentioning slowly, and then he is establishing. If you see the 5th chapter, 4th chapter, 5th chapter, 6th chapter, you will see position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how they are as equal in everything, potencies, everything. With Radha Krishna. So we should gradually go with complete faith. If you have any questions, right away get it clarified. If the strong foundation is not strong, we cannot believe when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exhibiting this, his Prakasha Leela, when he is exhibiting six-handed form to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, we cannot digest that facts. So that we this is the problem with whoever is coming from the India. They can accept Chaitanya Krishna Krishna killing Putana, Krishna lifting Govardhan hill. But many people, they cannot digest that Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exhibiting six-arm form. He showed Lord Ramachandra's form to Murari Gupta. They cannot digest all this. They cannot have complete faith. So this is the problem. So in the beginning itself, if you have questions, get them clarified so that you will have strong faith. Acharyas sacrificing their whole lives, they don't have any necessity to cheat us. So they want to give this tattva completely so that very easily they can cross this false ego and they can be liberated and they can perform devotional service and they can be perfected in very lifetime. Okay, we will go to the next one. Expansions, Lord's plenary portions. So in this fourth one we are seeing today, Prakasha's expansions. So there are two types of expansions, Prakasha expansions, Vilasa expansions. Okay, before going to the details of that, what is the difference between avatars and expansions? There are actually six types of avatars. Here, significantly, they mentioned three types of avatars, whereas the other three are uh, subsets of these three incarnations. So these three are primary. We can know about these incarnations. So what is the difference between incarnations and expansions? So expansions are Krishna himself. So, but incarnations are not like that, not necessarily. And sometimes only 60 qualities will be there, sometimes only 54 qualities will be there, sometimes only 50 qualities will be there in those incarnations. Whereas Prakashas are almost same as Krishna. Huh? We will see that two types of expansions and what is the difference. So Prakasha is same in features. When we say Prakasha expansions, it is exactly no difference in the form, no difference in the quality, no difference in the mood, manifestation. Everything is same. For example, Lord Krishna marrying 16,000 wives. So even Narada Muni got bewildered. Wow, is that true? When he was going to one marriage altar, he was doing rice on the head of the one queen. And when he was going to another marriage ceremony altar, the same Krishna, as it is, exactly. And he is tying the thread, yellow thread, or he is doing panigrahan. And like that, one Krishna, exactly like that only, but with another queen, he is circumambulating the fire. So he was amazed. Narada Muni was so amazed. Marry Krishna, same Krishna with same features, marrying 16,000 queens, princesses in 16,000 mandaps. So it is very beautiful when he see. And also, next in the Rasalila also, how he was expanding to himself, exactly same to each and every gopi. And how many gopis are there in the Vrindavan? Not Bhaumi Vrindavan. Of course, in Bhaumi Vrindavan also eternally they will be there, but we cannot see. But in Goloka Vrindavan, there are 3 billion gopis are there. And he expanded himself as 3 billion Krishnas. So total how many? 3 billion gopis, 3 billion Krishnas, and 6 billion. How many zeros are there in a billion? 9 zeros. So those many Krishnas and those many gopis. And when we read in the scriptures, the dham, of course, the in the material world we can measure at least 84 kroshas, and the whole area of Vrindavan Dham is 84 kroshas. So in such a small land, how 6 billion gopis were fit? That means that is the transcendental Leela of the Supreme Lord. So regarding this, one time when I went with our family to Vrajdham, I asked a similar question to one of the Brajvasi. He was asked because morning they will have a plan to meet. Krishna will have a plan to meet with the gopis. So 18 miles they have to go, and within half an hour or 45 minutes they used to go and meet. So within 18 miles, within half an hour, how they used to come and go. And at the same time, evening, without knowing everyone, Krishna has to go to the home without anyone seeing or Jatila Kutila noticing. So anyone, all this happen should be happened within a short span. That many miles. It is not easy from Nandagaon to Barsana to come, go that frequently, that fast. Then that Vrajvasi explained that this Vrindavan Dham is like a lotus. So, when Krishna wants, the lotus petals will be closed, the area will become minimized, the distance will become minimized. And when this lotus expands, so if Krishna wants, the distance will be increased. So, everything, even Vrajdham is a person. So, Vrajdham also works, be controlled by Krishna's desire, Krishna's willing. So, like that, nothing is impossible. It is inconceivable for us, but everything is possible for Krishna. So, that was so like this. Krishna expanded himself as 3 billion gopis, and he made each and every gopi think that Krishna is only with me, not with anyone else. I am so lucky today. Krishna is mine. So everyone, he was performing the dance like that. Very according to the mood of each gopi, he used to perform the dance. So, but he is the exact Krishna. We cannot discriminate. We cannot. The garland, the peacock feather, everything exact. So that is the example for Prakasha expansions. And then comes to the Vilasa. These Vilasa expansions are different in features, but and in the potency also uh, partially potent. In Prakasha expansions, full potency is there. 100% full potency is there. No difference in the potency. But in Vilasa expansions, there will be slight potency difference. You may ask this question, Baladeva is exactly same as everything Krishna, right? Only color is the difference. Yes, he is Baladeva is special. He is the preliminary expansion, almost same as Krishna. But if you see the 64 qualities of Krishna, there is one special, four special qualities for Krishna than other incarnations or other rupas like Mahavishnu, Vishnu Tattvas. What are those four qualities? Rupa Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, Prema Madhuri, Venu Madhuri. So if you see, Balaram is as beautiful as Krishna, only color is different. And Leela Madhuri, he also has lot of leelas with his own devotees. He also has his own rasa dance with his confidential devotees. And Leela Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, uh, Prema Madhuri. So he is also having that loving devotees. But Venu Madhuri, only Krishna used to play this Venu. Baladev never played, means never exhibited that. So in that way, there will be slight variations. And if you come across the Narayana Amsas, Narayana
Two-handed.
expansions, if you see Narayana expansions, Krishna in four-handed form, he is same as Narayana in four-handed form. But Krishna, if he wants, he can exhibit two-handed form and also four-handed form according to the situation. But Narayana, if you see, always four-handed form will be there, but not 200 form. So in that way, according to the mood, according to the need, he exhibits these vilasa pastimes. Okay. And in the verse 75, there was a detailed definition. If someone can read this one, definition of Prakasha Vigrahas.
Verse 75, definition of Prakasa Vigrahas. If numerous forms, all in their features, are displayed simultaneously, such a forms are called Prakasha Vigraha of the Lord.
We read, right, in Rasalila, or when he is marrying the princesses, 16,000 princesses.
Displayed simultaneously. That's most important too.
Yeah, simultaneously, even when he is getting married. So, because these yogis are there, they can perform, they can expand themselves. Mystic yogis also very powerful. They can expand themselves. And when we see Kardam Muni also, he expanded himself as 9 forms to satisfy Mother Devahuti. But the speciality is here, he simultaneously expanded himself, and not to limit of 9, 7, 10, not like that. He expanded himself simultaneously to thousands of forms, billions of forms, whereas these mystic yogis, they cannot do. And one more beauty is, all these expansions of yogis, they cannot do the activities differently. They will do all only one kind of activity at a time. So that is the another speciality in Krishna's expansions. So it is far beyond than the mystic yogis. That's why Krishna is called as Yogeshwara. He is the yoga Ishvara of all the yogis. Okay. And the definition, the एकाय विग्रह किंतु आकारे हयाना अनेक प्रकाश है विलास्तर नामा. Yeah, now we will see Vilasa Vigrahas. What is the meaning? Can someone?
I can read, Mataji.
Yeah.
But when the numerous forms are slightly different from one another, they are called Vilasa Vigrah. Vigrahas.
So, when there is slight difference is there, they are Vilasa Vigrahas. And we will see much detail in this verse. स्वरूपमन्याकारं यत् तस्य भाति विलासता प्रायेणात्मा समं शक्त्या सा विलासो निगद्यते. Yeah, please continue, Mataji.
When the Lord displays numerous forms with the different features by his inconceivable potency, such a forms are called Vilasa Vigrahas. Purport.
Yeah. Please read.
This is another quotation from the Laghu Bhagavad Vartamatra.
Laghu Bhagavatamrita. So, this now we can understand what is the Prakasha and what is the Vilasa. Vilasa is when Lord is displaying numerous forms with different features. Now, they are not all not in the same feature, same identical features, but with different features. And again, this another important point is inconceivable potency. So, he is not forced, or he is not controlled by anyone else. So he is exhibiting these different features for his own will, out of his own will, by his inconceivable potency only. Okay. Eche Baladeva Paravyome Narayana Eche Vasudeva Pradyumnadi Sankarshana.
Example of such a Vilasa Vigrahas are Baldeva, Narayana in a Vaikunthama, and the Chatur view, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumana, and Aniruddha.
Aniruddha. So these two are the difference. In Vilasa Vigrahas, examples are we already discussed. Narayana, Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. We saw that, right? So these are the examples, Vilasa Vigrahas. And these are the Pradyumna, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, Vasudeva. If you see, their position of the symbols, whatever they are carrying, they are different. Their placements are different. But if you see the features, exactly they are same. Only by the holding positions, we can discriminate them. Who is Vasudeva, who is Sankarshna, who is Pradyumna and Aniruddha. And if you see in their potencies, they are almost same as Krishna, but some slight difference in potency, slight difference in appearance. And like this, Krishna has Kaishora Krishna. Krishna eternally in Goloka Vrindavan in the Kaishora form, means a young boy, a youthful boy, always in that Kaishora is. That Kaishora Krishna, Brajendra Nandan Krishna, has 6 Swarupas. What are those? 2 kinds of manifestations: Prabhava, Vaibhava. Prabhava means fully potent, Vaibhava is partially potent. And 2 types of incarnations: Amsha, Avesha. Amsha means incarnation. We already discussed incarnations, 3 types of main incarnations that are mentioned here. And he exhibits in different ages also, himself in different ages. 2 ages. What are those? Balya, childhood, and Pauganda, boyhood. So these 6 Swarupas, for the sake of pastimes, he will manifest or he expands himself into any of these 6 Swarupas. And when we see this much detailedly, this chart, this Krishna Swarupa is in the Kaishora age. So this Krishna Swarupa is expanded like this. Swayam Rupa Krishna in Govinda, as Govinda in Vraja, in the Vrajdam. How he is, these 2 we discussed. Prabhava, Prakasha, Vaibhava, Vilasa. So this Prabhava has 2 forms, we saw that. And Vaibhava is examples, 4-handed forms like Krishna, Balarama, Chaturvyuha. And these expansions are Vilasa expansions. Of course, these from Vaibhava and Vilasa both are same. And we can see further expansions like Prabhava is Adi Chaturvyuha and Vaibhava is the Dvitiya Chaturvyuha. And if this is confusing for you, we can see the later one itself. This is actually more frequently used, but if you see detailedly, both are same. And Swayam Rupa, Brajendra Nandana, as covered by in the Kaishara is Swayam Prakasha. His own expansion are 2 types: Prabhava and Vaibhava. Prabhava, Vaibhava is Balarama, and from Balarama, all other expansions are coming. First, Adi Chaturvyuha is Prayabhav Vilasa, and next Dvitiya Chaturvyuha is from Vaibhav Vilasa. So, Dvitiya Chaturvyuha, Vaibhav Vilasa is coming from the Sankarshana only. And you would have come across all the, we will see in the 24 incarnations in Chaitanya, in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 3rd chapter, there are 24 avatars mentioned. So, those 24 avatars, from which Chaturvyuha expansion they are all coming. Here it is clearly mentioned. Okay. From Vasudeva, who and all are coming, Sankarshna, who and all are coming, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And from again second Sankarshna, we are seeing this Swamsha. How Karnodak Sai Vishnu, Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, and various incarnations, all the incarnations. Okay. In the difference in this picture is, we will see these are all the Satyavesha avatars. And these are all the Purushavasaras, Leelavataras, and Gunavataras here. So prominently they mentioned this Gunavataras, this Satyavesha Avataras, and this Leelavataras. So these are the prominently that were mentioned in the 3rd part of the 6 features. So this is one. And we have 8 minutes. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Mataji, can
Uh,
you display this chart to Nitya Bhagavat Sevaya? So, because we got the color one, but I cannot read. When we made a copy, we could not read. But this is very clear, this chart right now, what you're showing.
okay.
So we like to have this chart
Okay,
so we
Mataji.
can read.
Okay. And these are the next from the so far we read till 78 verse. We saw about the expansions of the Supreme Lord. And if you see further, these are the
Shakti.
Shakti, three categories of potencies, Shaktis. So, Lakshmis in Vaikunta, Queens of Dwaraka, Gopis in Vrindavana. All these Shaktis are expansions of Srimad Radharani. Whether Lakshmi ji or Queens or Gopis, everyone. So, that means every woman is coming from Srimati Radharani only because she is the internal potency. Any Vishnu Tattva concert will be internal energy only. So, internal energy source for any internal energy is highest source is Srimati Radharani, no doubt about it. So many people with limited knowledge think that Lakshmi is greater than Srimati Radharani, Lakshmi is the topmost, or Shakti is Mother Durga is the topmost than everyone. So these are all the misconceptions. Ultimately, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahma Samhita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these scriptures, Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Even in the ninth canto also, Sukadeva Goswami is saying that before last chapter of ninth canto, because we are entering Krishna's past tense in the 10th canto, right? Clearly he mentioned that Swayam Eva Hari Khila means Swayam Krishna came as Krishna in Dwapar Yuga. So that means Krishna is not an incarnation like previous incarnations that were mentioned in other cantos, like Lord Ramachandra, like Lord Narasimha, Lord Vamana, Lord Varaha. He is not like that. Krishna is same as other incarnations, what's the need of Shukadeva Goswami mentioning that Swayam Krishna? That same Krishna, he is not an incarnation, he is Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, he came himself. He mentioned that. So, if you read attentively, scrutinizingly these kind of words, we will have lot of clarity about the supreme position of Krishna. So, and when Krishna is supreme, Srimad Radharani is the supreme princess, supreme Shakti. So, all other Shaktis are subservient for Srimati Radharani. So, her position is like that. And ultimately, the last feature of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned is Isha, the Supreme Lord. So, these Shaktis are description are from 79 and 80. And this one is from 81 to till the end of the chapter. The Supreme Lord. Verses from 81 to 110. Total, how many verses? I didn't see. Okay, up to that. The Supreme Lord with the entourage of his devotees and associates as described above. So, when we are mentioning Krishna means, now it's not just Krishna. Krishna will not be alone. Even internally or externally also, even when Krishna is alone, people will ask, who created Krishna? Krishna created everything, then who created Krishna? So nobody can create Krishna. Krishna is the Adi Purusha. So when he is the Adi Purusha also, he is not alone. He is always with his associates, with his entourage, with all um, everyone is there. He is not alone. Even in the picture also, any bona fide picture if you see, we can't find Krishna alone. Krishna will be with a cow or a peacock or with the gopis or with Srimati Radharani. So we can never see Krishna alone. Krishna is always with all his devotees, with all the cows, associates, everything. That's the reason Krishna wants to be with all of us. And we should try to love all the people around us first of all. Otherwise, if we have disagreements, discriminations, and ill feelings amongst the devotees, how can we go there? How we will be allowed there? And how we can be interacting? Krishna will not let anyone offend his dearest devotees, right? Dearmost devotees. When we are not exhibiting our love here itself, how we can exhibit our love there? So, in the material world, all these Instagram, Facebook, people hanker to have more followers, YouTube channels, more followers, more followers. But in the spiritual world, our devotion is estimated by the number of people whom we are loving, not whom we are followed by. It is quite contradictory. So, day by day, we should assess our devotion progress. Did I love the people around me, the devotees around me, more than yesterday? Otherwise, there is no progress in our devotion. We should try to love more, 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 more. Then our path to Krishna, because our heart will become much, 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 much sweeter and softer. Krishna likes to stay there, comes, and when there are so many ill feelings, Krishna doesn't like to be there. Huh? So we cannot relish our devotion without Krishna in our hearts. Only Gandha will be there. So we should love Krishna enter us also. His cows, his devotees, all the whoever is in Krishna consciousness is a dearest devotee of Krishna. So we should practice more and more, how much ever more and more we can love without any complaints. So, respectable obeisances unto all these 6 features of the Supreme Absolute Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah, this will stop. Any questions or comments or anything?
Mataji, is a wonderful class. You made it very clear.
Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, very well explained. Thank you very much. People.
Yeah, these scriptures like Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these scriptures, we are all in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj mentioned, Hitpatma Patam Gruhamanda Kupam. We are so much entrapped in the dark wells of this material world, thinking that even when we are practicing devotion also, we are having a slight ray of that knowledge, that glimpse of the spiritual world, but still we are in this Gruhamanda Kupam only. We are strongly attached with so many things around us. Like just a small example. Suppose if the heater in this weather, if the heater is turned off, we cannot survive. And if the bed is changed, we cannot sleep. And if there is any discomfort with the car or amenities around us, we'll feel lot of discomfort. Will that means that shows that we are having lot of attachments in this material world that we are not realizing. We are not realizing. But the more when we are immersed in this Chaitanya Charitamrita or Srimad Bhagavatam, we will find a rope that is hang to save us. So we can see that rope only through these scriptures. Then we will realize that there is a purpose for this rope, and what is the duty from our end, what we have to do, and what will happen. We should have faith on the person who is dropping that rope for us. And what we have to do, we have to realize that through these scriptures, and we have to tightly hold it without any doubts whether why, what is the need for him to put rope here, will he do any harm to me after coming out? These are all the useless. Anyway, we are going to die. Even when we are staying in that Gruhamandakupam, we will die. Even if that person who is pulling out is not, is a suspicious person also, we will die. That's fine. Anyway, we have to die. So better take advantage of that rope and come out of this Gruhamandakupam and try to deliver ourselves. And these scriptures are so much assuring for our liberation, for our real happiness. And these acharyas are not ordinary persons. They are the eternal associates in the Golokadham, taking all the austerities, taking all the risks. They are coming to deliver us. Only again and again we have to show our gratitude. We have to express our thankfulness. And there is a beautiful verse in the 4th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. How I can repay these acharyas? I don't have any qualification, just folding palms and praying sincerely, offering thankfulness. There is a beautiful verse by Prithu Maharaj. Yeah, that's how we have to pray every day. Yeah, with this we'll conclude. Shimhesha Das Prabhuji, are you there?
Mataji, he's in India, so probably he must be.
Yeah,
I do not know.
Thank
Oh,
you,
he's
Mataji.
here. Okay.
Thank you so much. A wonderful class. Explained. Anything else? Anybody else would like to add? If not, then thank you. Let's pray together. Vancha kalpatarupasya
Kripa Sindhu Eva Cha
Haridanam Pavane
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Pranam
Vaishnavabhyo
Pavanebhyo
Namo Namah.
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Vaishnava ki jai.
Jai.
Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai.
Jai
Jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Jai. Gauri Prema.
Jai.
Hari
Hari Hari
Hari
Thank you
Bol.
so
Bol.
much, Mataji. Very
Thank you.
well
Thank you,
explained. Thank
Mataji.
you.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, Simeshwar Prabhu. How is your father doing?
Mataji. And
How
Pranam
is the
also.
father? How is father feeling?
Still in ICU.
Oh, okay.
And the hospital is trying to do some MRI, but I think it's getting busy. And also, once the MRI is completed, they'll really come to know that this is the appropriate treatment to start.
Mm-hmm.
That's just we are waiting for it. So,
Nice. His bleeding is stopped completely. He was
yeah, bleeding and all is, yeah, it's
everything.
actually there is something
Under
on it.
control.
Yeah, some infection on the throat. I think it's part of.
Pneumonia.
No pneumonia. Pneumonia was there in the beginning, but that is not there anymore.
And he's on a ventilator or he's a.
Not in the ventilator, but on the ICU. But on the, he cannot swallow anything. They put a tube, so all the food and liquid goes through the tube. Plus they have some infection or some kind of pus or something on the. It is not really on the vocal cords or something. It's just behind the spine, and then I think maybe because of any fall down something, maybe some shocks or something, that. And
Right. Yep, we pray for it. He recovers.
Have you worried
soon
because of his bit old? So that's another thing. So, yeah, thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, I hope your father feel better soon.
Yeah, we pray. Yes, hopefully.
This happened suddenly, Prabhuji, or
Not suddenly. Actually, it's been, initially what happened, the father was just, got up in the morning and then he was going to the bathroom. I think he slipped or lost the balance, and then he torn it. And there is a pillar there,
Mhm.
and he torn it, and then I think he fall down. Then he got a little bleeding in the nose, and I think then my brother was there, and he took him into the hospital, and then after that, what happened? I think felt some sort, kind of suffocation or something, some difficulty in breathing, and then put my dad on the ventilator. And then what happened? When they put on the ventilator, I think that developed a pneumonia.
The lungs get weak, and it's tough to maintain the balance of lungs and the ventilator.
Then,
Artificial breathing.
yeah, so then actually then they started to treat on the pneumonias. That is cured actually, but then that has, and I think that by the time, I don't know whether they put some damage when they used the ventilator pipe or no, nobody knows that. So then they did the CT and all those things, MRI, but they couldn't find out much exactly. But then actually, then we shifted to a bigger hospital in Kochi. I'm in Kochi now. So then what happened? I think they said that's something to do with the spine. So maybe when he hit on I think there are some line fracture on the back of the spine, and then that maybe must have created some. So yeah, so they are giving antibiotics now. So I think it's stable, no much issues. I talked to him, and he's also stable and all. And but they are now just trying to do the MRI. But what happens when you do the MRI? And he has some movements. Actually, when there is some movements, and they can't do it. They tried a couple of times. Now they are actually going to put on anesthesia and then trying to do that. So age factor is there. So that's the one thing is worries. So that's I'm here. So see that. That's all, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you for your prayers.
Yeah, we will say 3 times Ugram Veeram and we'll end the session, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
उग्रं
Thank you.
वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं
सर्वतोमुखं
नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्. If Krishna willing, Nashim Bhagwan willing, may he takes care of your father, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Take care, Prabhuji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.